You've probably heard it a million times. Drink more water. But what's really going on inside our bodies when we do that? Well, it turns out the science of hydration is way more interesting and complex than just chugging water when you feel thirsty.
So let's just jump right in with a wild question that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but actually gets right to the hearts of why this stuff is so important. Can being dehydrated literally shrink your brain? And the answer, incredibly, is yes. It's not an exaggeration. Studies using MRI scans have actually shown that when you're dehydrated, your brain can experience a decrease in regional density. The good news? When you rehydrate, the density of both your gray and white matter can bounce right back. It's a direct physical impact on the most important organ in your body.
But for your brain and everything else to recover like that, it's not just about the volume of water you're drinking. It's all about making sure your cells can actually use that water. And that, my friends, is where electrolytes come into play.
So what are electrolytes really? Simply put, they're minerals that carry a tiny electric charge. You can think of them as the traffic cops for all the fluid in your body. They're telling water where to go, and they are absolutely essential for pretty much everything, from your nerves firing to your muscles contracting.
What's really cool is how they all work together as a team. You've got sodium and chloride, which are buddies that manage your overall fluid balance. Then, potassium works with sodium to create the electrical signals your cells need to communicate. And then there's magnesium. This one is a total powerhouse. It's involved in over 300 different reactions in your body, including creating ATP, which is basically the fuel that keeps you going. Okay, so what happens when this delicate dance between water and electrolytes gets all out of whack? Let's take a little tour inside a body that's dealing with some serious hydration stress.
Your kidneys are on the front lines here. When you're dehydrated, the blood flow to them slows down, which means they have to work way harder to do their job. All the waste products in your system get more concentrated, which can even lead to things like kidney stones. Plus, staying properly hydrated is key to flushing out nasty bacteria that could cause urinary tract infections.
And that stress doesn't just stop at your kidneys. When your body is low on water, it releases a hormone called vasopressin. Its job is to make your blood vessels tighten up to hold on to the water you have left. The downside? That jacks up your blood pressure and puts a huge strain on your heart. For anyone with an existing condition like heart failure, that's what the HF stands for, this whole situation creates a dangerous domino effect.
All of this just goes to show you that proper hydration is a really delicate balancing act. And you know what? A lot of the advice we hear all the time completely misses that point. So let's bust some of the biggest hydration myths out there. Let's start with the big one, the most famous rule of all time, the 8x8 rule. You know, 8 8-ounce glasses of water a day. We've all heard it. It's everywhere. But is there any real science behind it? The short answer is nope. There's just no solid scientific evidence to support this one-size-fits-all advice. The truth is, how much fluid you need is incredibly personal. It depends on your age, how active you are, the climate where you live, so many things. For most of us who are generally healthy, thirst is actually a pretty darn reliable signal that it's time to have a drink. And here's the other big reason that 8-glass rule just doesn't hold up. We don't only drink our water. We get a huge amount of our fluid from the food we eat, especially things like fruits and vegetables. Heck, even drinks like milk, juice, and even coffee in moderation all contribute. Get this, your body even makes its own water as part of its normal metabolic process. Pretty cool, right? So that, of course, brings us to the most practical question of all. If the 8x8 rule is out and we're getting water from food, what are the best things to drink to stay properly, optimally hydrated? Well, scientists actually looked into this. They created something called a beverage hydration index, and the results are pretty mind-blowing. It turns out that milk, both skim and full fat, is actually more hydrating than plain water when you look at it over a 4-hour window. Why? Because the mix of electrolytes, protein, and fat in milk slows down how fast it leaves your stomach, which gives your body more time to absorb all that liquid goodness. It's also really important to know the difference between a sports drink and what's called an oral rehydration solution, or ORS. They are not the same thing. Sports drinks are loaded with sugar because they're designed to give you energy, to refuel your muscles during a workout. An ORS, on the other hand, is specifically engineered with the perfect balance of electrolytes and just a little bit of sugar to fight off dehydration, usually when you're sick. So for pure, rapid rehydration, the ORS is the clear winner. And look, this isn't just something for elite athletes to worry about. A huge study looked at something called plasma tonicity, which is just a fancy way of saying they measured the concentration of stuff in people's blood, and found that a whopping 60% of American adults showed signs of being dehydrated. This is a massive issue that's affecting most people. So, okay, let's pull all this incredible science together. How can you take all this information and actually use it in your day-to-day life with a simple, no-fuss strategy?
Believe it or not, one of the easiest and most scientifically backed tools you can use is a simple urine color chart. I know, but it works. It's super low tech, but it's a surprisingly accurate snapshot of how hydrated you are. The goal is a pale straw yellow color. That means you're in the sweet spot.
So here's the bottom line. Forget about those rigid, outdated rules. It's time to get smarter about it. First, just listen to your body. Your thirst is a fantastic guide. Second, remember to eat your water. Load up on fruits and veggies. And third, use color as your clue. A quick glance is really all you need to know where you stand.
At the end of the day, the science is crystal clear. True hydration isn't about how many ounces you can force down. It's about maintaining that delicate, crucial balance between fluids and electrolytes. So knowing that, the next time you feel thirsty, how are you going to rethink what you reach for?